Hello everyone. In last lecture, we saw waterfall model and to overcome the disadvantages of waterfall model, there is one more model called as a spiral model. So in today's session, we will see about spiral model. So if you see the picture of spiral model, right? So it is similar to spiral. If you see the shape, right? It is similar to spiral. That's why it is called as a spiral model. And if you see here, right, different parts are there, or they are basically four stages of spiral model. So they are kind of a similar. So basically planning is nothing but requirement analysis phase. Planning is related to requirement analysis. After that there is a risk analysis. So it is nothing but designing and planning. So basically these two phases comes under requirement gathering and designing phase. After that there is a engineering and execution phase, which includes development and testing. And after that deployment, maintenance and customer evaluation. So after development and testing phase, whenever we deploy the software, after that customer might send some evaluation it, right? So customer evaluate the product, they will send some feedback, or they will ask some additional requirements after this phase, right? So this is basically similar to what we have saw the previous model stages. For example, in SDLC, right? So first one is requirement analysis phase, that is that comes under planning. Designing will come under risk analysis, where we will design how many developers are needed, how many testers are needed, what is the system requirement is there. So everything will come under the risk analysis. After that development and testing phase will start, and after that maintenance and deployment, maintenance and customer evaluation. So we will see details about each phase. So first understand how the spiral model or iterative model. So spiral model is also called as a iterative model. So how it actually works. So basically at the first phase, so first phase is again requirement analysis phase, right? So during the first phase, when the project starts, customer or client will come up with some initial requirement. So they will give some initial requirement for the IT company, and IT company will start requirement analysis for the initial requirements given by customer. After requirement analysis, and after that the planning will start, designing will start. So we will enter in the risk analysis phase. So here if you see, right, in the spiral start here, after the first phase, that is requirement gathering, risk analysis will start. So during risk analysis is nothing but a designing phase, right? So here we will complete the designing of the application. We will understand designers will create some documents of designs, or look and feel of the website, or look and feel of the software project, right? Some application architect people will do some high level architecture designing, right? And after that implementation phase will come. So after first phase, second phase will start. After second, third phase, that is development and testing. So during this phase, developers will start developing the product, right? They will deliver that specific project to testers to test the project. And after the development and testing get completed, then again we will come into the this phase, that is deployment phase. So once development is completed, the software will be deployed on customers environment. So where customers will actually check out that specific product or project, right? So that will come under customer evaluation. So after this point, the software which is released, that will be version 1 software. So once we complete this stage, then the version 1 of software will be delivered, right? So first cycle will be completed. So at this phase, first cycle will be completed. Then depending upon the customer feedback or customer requirement, right, customer might come with some additional requirement. Customer can give some additional requirement as well. So that was the in previous waterfall model we have seen that main disadvantage was we could not adopt with the new requirement. But in the spiral model, once the cycle gets completed, and after that customer comes with some new requirement, let's say customer come up with some additional requirement depending on the feedback of version 1 of software, then after that we will again start the requirement phase, right? So from here again the requirement phase will start. We will adapt with new requirement. Then again risk analysis phase will start. We will again design phase will start. After that once more time development and testing will be conducted for that new requirement, right? So development and testing will be done for the new requirement, and again it will be deployed or it will be released for that specific version one more time. So it will be a version 2 this time. So after ending of second cycle, second version of that specific product will be released to customers. Correct. Similarly, depending on the feedback of the second version of that specific software, one more time, let's say customer gives some new improvement or some kind of a new requirement, then third cycle will start, right? So we have seen that after first cycle, first version of software will be released. After second cycle, second version of software will be released, and after that, depending upon the new requirement, again third cycle will start. So again the requirement analysis phase will start, then risk analysis will start, which will include designing and architecture planning. After that, it will reach to the development and testing stage, and after that it will be delivered to again customer evaluation, or it will be in deployment or maintenance phase. So at this point, the third version will be released of the software. So it is also known as version controlling model, right? So in this, after every cycle, if you see now, after every cycle, one version of software will be released, and that will be incremental or iterative. So depending on the new requirement, whenever it comes after the cycle, we can adapt with those new requirement, and we will complete one more cycle, and we will keep releasing new versions of that specific software. So that is the basic fundamental of the spiral model. Correct. Now we will see each phase one by one. So first one is obviously planning stage. So planning stage, it is nothing but requirement gathering. So requirements are studied and gathered. Then we will check the feasibility. So project manager or product manager will check the feasibility of those requirement. Then review will happen, walkthrough will happen, and they will streamline that specific requirements. And what is the outcome or what is the output of this planning stage? So if you see the planning stage, so during the initial requirement, the planning stage output will be, it will simply give some requirement understanding documents. So similar to waterfall model, it will again produce some requirement understanding documents and finalize list of requirement. So after the initial requirement phase, right? So if you see, once we start from here, initial requirement phase once ended, then it will produce some requirement documentation, right? So it will produce some requirement understanding document and finalized list of requirements. And after that, we will enter into the risk analysis phase. So in this phase, requirement risk analysis, basically requirements are studied and brainstorming session will conduct, and they are done to identify the potential risk. So they are basically conducted by expert people who are architect. They basically conduct and check what are the risk factor, what is the system requirement, or what are the possible risks that might happen in the later stages during the software development. And once these risks are identified, then the risk mitigation strategy is planned and finalized. And what is the output of the risk analysis phase? Basically documents which highlights all the risk and its mitigation plans. So after this initial requirement phase, we will enter in the risk analysis phase for the first cycle. So here everything will happen in the risk analysis phase, what we have seen here. And after that, next phase is going to be engineering phase, where actual development and testing of that specific software take place in the engineering phase. So basically, obviously the development will write the code, testers will write the test cases and test result, they will execute those test cases, they will identify defect, they will report those issues to developers, and developer will fix those issues. Test summary report will be created before actually deployment, right? So once during this testing phase, if you see, for the first cycle, during the testing phase, it will include all type of functional type of testing. And once everything is tested, then it will enter into the deployment and customer evaluation phase, where we will simply, software will be deployed on customer's environment. After that, customer will evaluate the software and they will provide their feedback and approval. So customer will check whatever the initial requirement he has given, they are satisfied or not. If there are any other new requirements needs to be improved, at that point they will basically assess the quality of that specific product after the first cycle. And if so, after the evaluation, if there are any new features needs to be implemented, then they will again provide such requirement or some new feature document to that specific cycle, right? So once the first cycle completes, then first version will be released. After that evaluation phase, one more time new requirement might be provided, so the second cycle will start. So basically it will keep going on, right? So it is basically depending on various versions. So different type of versions will be released, at the end of every cycle. So main advantage is we can accommodate new requirement during the spiral model and beginning at the beginning of each cycle. Correct. So normally when to use spiral model? So we have seen how spiral model works and why it is called as a spiral model, right? Because it works on basically individual cycle. If you see first cycle we release, whenever the first cycle gets completed, it will release version 1. After that second cycle will start, that will again go from the requirement analysis, designing, then development and testing, and then deployment and maintenance. After that, after the customer evaluation, they will provide some new requirement and third cycle will start. So after end of the every cycle, one version will be released. So after the first version, second version of software will be released. After completion of say third cycle, third version of the software will be released. Right. So this is basically fundamental of spiral model. So the next question comes, when to use spiral model? So basically when the project is large, at that time spiral models are used. Because in large projects, requirements will be continuously changing. So if you see the large project in which requirements are not fixed, they are continuously changing. So for such projects, it is better to develop the product by using spiral model, because we can accommodate new changes after every cycle. Correct. So that is the main basic funda of using spiral model. So whenever there is a large project, it is recommended to use spiral model. Whenever the software needs continuous risk evaluation, so if the product is large and it requires some continuous risk evaluation, then in such scenarios spiral model is used. Also, if the product and requirements are a bit complicated and they require continuous clarification, right? So if the product is very large and requirements are pretty complicated, then it's in those scenarios requirements might need continuous changes, right? So they might need continuous clarification as well as time to time changes in those. So in such cases spiral model is useful. Also the software requires significant changes. So whenever the software requires constant upgrades or frequent changes, then in such scenarios spiral model is used. Where enough time frame is there to get the user feedback after every version, right? So after every cycle new version will be released and that will be available for customers to use. So depending on, customers will provide their feedback. So in such scenarios we have to use spiral model because there is a enough time frame. So if there is a enough time frame, especially for large projects, if there is a enough time frame, then to get the end user feedback, right? So for every version we can get the customer or end users feedback. Where there is a releases are required to be frequent, so we have to release the project version wise. There are frequent release for that specific project. So for every release there are some new requirements or new features will be added in that specific software. So in such scenarios spiral model is ideal or spiral model is used. Then what are the main advantages? So for every model there are some advantages as well as some disadvantages. Correct. So spiral model is also having some advantages, having some disadvantages as well. So we will see one by one. So what are the advantages of spiral model? So development is fast. So we have seen, right? So basically entire software will be developed in small cycles. If you see, the initial requirement will be provided. After that, for initial requirement analysis will be done, planning will be done, development will be done, testing will be done, and that will be delivered to the customer as a version 1. So if you see, the cycle is small, so customer will get the initial requirement in very small time period, right? So that is the one advantage of spiral model, that development is comparatively faster than waterfall model, because in waterfall model we have seen that we have to follow the entire sequence, right? After that only the main product will be delivered. But in spiral model development is fast since it is a iterative model. Especially in larger projects, softwares are created and handled in a strategic way. So basically for larger projects, spiral model is used, and where softwares are created and handled in a strategic way. Risk evaluation is proper. So we have seen there is a risk analysis, or during the planning phase, risk evaluation is conducted by expert people, and that's why that minimizes the chances of identifying such risk in the later stages of the development. That is one of the advantage of spiral model, that risk evaluation is proper and it is conducted by expert people. And in spiral model, there is a more control towards all the phases of development. More and more features are added in a systematic way. We have seen after every cycle, we can take some new requirement and implement those in the software for next version. So more and more features can be accommodated or can be adopted, right? Software is produced early. We have seen that development is faster, and since it's working on a cyclical phase, software is produced very early, and that can be available for customers for assessment. Customer will get to use software for every module. So whatever requirements they have provided after the first iteration or first cycle, customer will get to use that actual software for every module, and depending on they can give their feedback. Testing is done in every cycle before going to next cycle. So if you see, for every cycle, right, so for every cycle there will be a testing phase. For first cycle there will be testing, then for second cycle there will be again testing phase. So basically for each and every cycle, testing is going to be conducted. So that is plus point, because as more testing is conducted in every cycle, chances of quality is going to be a good. That chances are high, very high during the spiral model. But there are few disadvantages of spiral model as well. So what are the different disadvantages of spiral model? Since we have seen in spiral model, there is a risk analysis phase, and it is very important phase, and it requires expert people. So they are very experienced people who are very experienced for the risk analysis. It is not beneficial for smaller projects. So mainly we have seen that spiral model, since there are multiple iterations are involved, it is not ideal for small projects. If the requirements are small, then it is not ideal. For large projects, it is recommended. That spiral may go infinitely. So if you see, this spiral might go infinitely. If requirements are keep coming, then that spiral will go infinitely. That is again one kind of a disadvantage for spiral model. Documentation is more, as it has intermediate phases, right? So we have seen for every cycle, new requirements will be coming. So for that, again, documentation phase will be there, planning phase will be there. So it needs more and more documentations, right? So documentation is going to be a more, as it has some intermediate phases, and it is costly compared to smaller projects. Normally, if project is small, then it is going to be a costly for them to implement spiral model. Requirement changes are not allowed in between cycle. So understand the difference. We know that we can accommodate the requirement changes before the cycle. So before the cycle starts, we can accommodate that requirement analysis phase, right? But during the cycle, for example, if that specific cycle has started, suppose we are in the development and testing phase, then at that point we cannot accept new requirement, right? So it is kind of a waterfall model which is happening in cycling phase, right? So it's nothing but, if you see one cycle is nothing but similar to waterfall model. So one cycle will start from requirement analysis, then prototype and designing, right? So first cycle is going to be similar to waterfall model only. After that, second cycle is going to start. That is again kind of a waterfall model. So main thing is, though we can adopt or we can take new requirement, but that should not be in between the cycle, right? We can take them after the cycle end, right? So first cycle end, after that we can take new requirement, but we cannot take new requirements in between the cycle. And every cycle of spiral model looks like waterfall model. Just we have discussed, right? If you see every cycle, that includes designing, that includes planning, that includes requirement analysis, after that designing, after that development, testing, deployment and maintenance. That is again similar to waterfall model. So every cycle is basically nothing but one waterfall model only, right? So that is one of the disadvantage. It is not for smaller project, and every cycle of spiral model looks like a waterfall model, and there is no testing in requirement and design phase. So if you see the design and requirement phase, there is no testing involved here, right? So during the requirement analysis and designing or risk analysis phase, there is no testing. So testing will happen only in engineering and execution phase, that is during the development and testing phase. So that is kind of a one more disadvantage of spiral model, right? So we have seen different models. So far we have seen waterfall model and we have seen spiral model, which overcomes some of the disadvantages of waterfall model, but spiral model itself has its own disadvantages. So for to overcome such disadvantages of spiral model, there is one more model called as a V model, or verification or validation model. So about the V model we are going to see in the next session. So let's revise one more time the spiral model. So in spiral model, basically there are 4 phases: planning, risk analysis, engineering and execution, and evaluation. That is similar to, so it happens in each cycle. So during the initial requirement, so customer will give initial requirement. After that, requirement analysis phase will start. After that, designing phase will start. After that, development and testing phase will start. And after that, once the development is completed, first version will be released to the customer. So after first version is released, after that, depending on the market or depending on the customer requirement, next cycle or next set of requirements can be taken and next cycle will start. So after the second cycle or next cycle, second version of software will be released, and this cycle will keep go on, right? So that is the basic fundamental of spiral model. So thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel, and in coming session we will see about V model. Thank you one more time.